and EMDR? Because that seems to have a lot of success. Nobody's able to yet really tell me how it works, but
I
it
know
does.
how it works. So envision this as your brain, right? Here's the top part's the cortex, the bottom is the brainstem. Now, one of the things that we know is that everything you see and smell and touch and hear, everything that comes from the outside world, all your sensory input, the first place it goes is down here. It doesn't go right up to the top part of your brain first. And so when it comes into these really primitive parts of your brain, it then gets processed in the middle, and then it gets processed at the top. So you have, now this happens so quickly that you have the sense that it's all almost, instantaneous, but there really is a sequence of processing. So when you have a traumatic experience, what happens is that you end up making a traumatic memory that's multidimensional. There's a cognition, you remember what happened, and then there's a feeling, and there's a memory down there, and then there's changes in your physiology down here. So these are all interconnected. And the interconnection of these, if you will, memory tracks are what's responsible for the symptoms of distress, increased heart rate, or whatever the constellation of problems you have. It's because of this physiological interconnected memory.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's in your head, and it goes it's you've got components down here in the middle and at the top. So when you were in utero, so here's one of the great qualities of the human brain is that the way it makes sense out of the world is it takes patterns of neural activity that co-occur. And so when two things, if a visual image and a sound happen together again and again and again, your brain ties them together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we make the connection between a bark and a dog, and a siren and a fire truck, and a smile and safety, and all that kind of stuff. So your brain makes sense out of the world using that mechanism. Now in utero, when you are a little fetal body, your little fetal body is sending signals up into that low part of your brain saying, I'm not hungry, I'm not thirsty, I'm not cold, I'm regulated. And so the neural activation of regulation is continually happening while you're a little fetal developing thing. But you're also getting sensory input from the outside world that's provided by your mother, and the predominant pattern is from her heart rate. And so it's the entire time your brain is organizing, that somatosensory input's coming in, and from your body, you're getting them regulated and regulated and regulated. And so what happens is patterned, repetitive, somatosensory rhythms make you feel regulated. That's why when you get really stirred up, you want to go take a walk, or people swim, or you ride your bike, or you listen to music, or you chew your gum, or you do your needlework, or you do your drawing. It's all rhythmic. Davening, dancing, drumming, every culture on the planet uses pattern, repetitive, somatosensory activity to regulate you. So here you are. Now you have a traumatic memory, right? So you're asked in EMDR, think about the trauma, and that activates this chain. At the same time that you activate a very powerful regulating memory using rhythm. Pattern, repetitive, rhythmic stuff. So bilateral touch, move your eyes, and you can basically get the same effect by using any kind of pattern, repetitive, somatosensory thing. And so primitive cultures all over the planet have been using this for years. So they use dancing, drumming, singing as part of a healing ritual for traumatic experiences, the death, sickness, war, and all the ceremonies involve rhythm. And they're healing. So, you get up and you tell the story of the hunt where so-and-so was killed. And as you're telling it, you're dancing and you're drumming, and you tell it again and again and again. And every time you hunt, before the hunt, you tell the story of so-and-so who got killed a certain way. And it's a lesson to the clan about how not to, don't go right after the saber-toothed tiger. You should probably do it a different way. And it's a way to sort of deal with the grief and loss. And it's a therapeutic process. And every culture on the planet independently converged on combining pattern, repetitive, somatosensory activity with narrative about trauma as a healing process.